All right, fellow targeted individuals, I'm about to go down a list of things you can use to your day to day. I did specifically tell one TI about this, and I've also mentioned this on my other channels, but I will be listing things down on accordance to different things that you would normally use, either in, for your hygiene or just stuff for just cleaning itself. Okay, first stuff is the things that you don't want to be using. Um, Shampoo, conditioner, bar soaps, or liquid soaps, deodorants. I'm sorry, but like all that stuff, they've been putting a lot of toxified ingredients in that. This stuff, these ingredients they've been putting in this stuff, what it does is it actually has been found to either enhance the biofilm, which is actually a part of the chemtrail dumps, which is coming from the fungus that's mixed with the whole nanotech and stuff like that. As you may have already realized, nanotech is also in the chem dumps, and these, this fungus forms the biofilm on the surface of the skin. So, the nanobots are basically being, transported through through the whole air currents that we're breathing in from, every now and then. Since it's microscopic, it's, it makes it that much more easier for it to get around. So we've been breathing this in, for quite some time, even before we even came out the womb. The oxygen that our mothers had, was breathing is the same oxygen we were breathing even before we were born. So that should tell you guys something right there, that this whole programming stuff is a lot more sinister than people know. It really is. It's crazy. Before you even conceive, you're already being programmed by the beast system, just like that, without even a say so on the matter. Just that fucked up. Truly, it is. But anyway, I'm first start with the hygiene situation. Okay, so as I mentioned before, no bar soaps, no liquid soaps, no shampoo, no conditioner. Don't use any of that stuff, because I found that stuff does, enhance the effects of these directed energy attacks. It makes it, a lot worse to have to deal with this stuff. So once you cut that out, you start to feel a whole lot better. So what you may be wondering what you can use as a replacement to this stuff. Anyway, as a replacement, what I use as a replacement for hair gel, you can use coconut oil and flaxseed oil. That concentrated coconut stuff is good, and it's good for hair growth as well. It's a natural source of something that has been found to have properties to grow. You can even, look this up for yourself, and you'll see plenty of things, of information that will help you out to better understand it. So, that covers the whole hair gel process and whatnot. As far as cleaning your hair, my best, the thing I just use for that, man, I just, use the borax when it comes to, as a replacement for both shampoo, conditioner, and bar soaps. I use that, as well as baking soda. You can use that for cleaning just as well. Also, you can use that as a replacement for the baking soda as a replacement for deodorant. As well as for baking soda also as a replacement for toothpaste. You don't want to use toothpaste because that fluoride is bad for you. That stuff is there to, they put fluoride in the toothpaste. They put fluoride in the water for a reason. You should never ever swallow toothpaste under no circumstances at all, ever. And just using it alone is just as bad. So let's see. There's still a whole lot more. Also, when it comes to with these situations, you want to start researching certain types of foods and stuff, and that actually promotes alkaline properties into your diet, into your body system, because that's just going to help you, really tear down these symptoms that you're having from these directed energy attacks. Once you do that, you would start to, you won't even no longer feel fatigued. You should no longer feel in a weakened state anymore, and you'll feel like more like yourself. Now, as for the directed energy attacks, well, that's where Tony comes in. You know, with the nanotech, a lot of people know how to get rid of the Morgellons, but they just wasn't unsure about the nano. That's where the anti-nano bucket comes in. It extracts, I've already showed a video. This stuff extracts that crap out of your system. You know, I even went back to check on it on the guide channel, and I've seen that they looks like they did try to mess with it. It's just having trouble with playing. But yeah, man. That's one thing to deal with that, but also like when it comes to your diet, when it comes to the products you use on your body, remember the skin, the skin that you're in is an organ, okay? You got to take care of it, because otherwise if you don't, you're gonna feel those effects. So anyway, let's see, as a replacement for, I guess that pretty much covers most of it. So we already covered that, the hair gel, the the toothpaste situation, for brushing teeth. I wouldn't even recommend using a toothbrush, considering that's made out of plastic. And there's actually good reasons for that too. I'm telling you, like this situation, like anything that's like is ordinary that we would normally use in our day to day has been effed with. Every single bit of it. It is so damn sinister, man. Ladies, they put, I'm seeing stuff coming out of how they put this crap in even in the tampons, and it's that fucked up. And I'm like, dude, do they not stop with effing around with stuff? And I don't think they do. Situations have gotten way out of proportion. People are finding RFID chips in the bras. People have been finding RFID chips in the freaking face masks. Think about it. That's two things already. If you're finding traceable, chips like that, there's already been speculation with it being in the phone. So if you're finding it in the clothing, you best believe there are other things out there that has this crap on it too. Not to mention the whole, contact tracing effort they were trying to implement. And when they realized people didn't want that shit, what did they do? Oh, like, okay, well, we'll just put it in the next update. It's like you keep saying no, we don't want it. We want nothing to do with this. Yet they promote the crap anyway. They promote it anyway. Earlier today, these attacks were pretty damn bad for me. I definitely had to detox, and I feel a whole lot better since after doing that. It was relentless, and this happened. It got this bad when I just so happened to find this frequency that actually, this rife frequency that actually raises your alkaline levels in your body. Yeah, that alone is what, when I started listening to that, I started to realize that these attacks were getting a lot worse. Now, most TIs would be wondering, like, are these attacks getting worse because, this stuff is basically working against, whatever I'm doing is working against me instead of with me? Think about it for a minute. How come they're raising the attacks? You gotta ask yourself that. Always use discernment on many different things. Most of the methods I have done and tried, I've tried on my own before I even recommend it to anybody else. As for that right frequency, I definitely tried it. And as for the dieting change, I did do that for a while too. But unfortunately, when I did that, as far as the whole fasting situation, when it comes to, basically it's like a raw vegetable diet where you eat nothing but just raw veggies for a whole I feel like 2 months. I only did that for a couple of days, and I started to feel like whatever was built up in my skin was loosening up, and I could actually feel this nanotech moving around left and right all over the place. I could feel this crap moving more than often. It was quite unusual, really. But it was definitely one of the most weirdest experiences I've ever had. That was back before I left Baton Rouge, before I even went to New Orleans, and before, I even contacted my family. In this case, I don't want to have any contact with them The whole purpose of why I contacted them the last time when I was in Baton Rouge was only to basically just to see if they knew somebody with a truck. I would pay them to help me just haul my stuff to the lake. That didn't work out, and these perpetrators didn't want that happening. And they even mocked the situation by trying to fuck with me constantly. But I didn't give them the reaction they wanted. Let me go ahead and just explain to you guys exactly how this played out. Because I believe I may have mentioned it before, but you see, they do stuff like this as a means to basically fuck with you, to try to get you to feel, worthless or just completely helpless. But this is why you must abandon the damn system. The system is completely, one-sided. And that's just it. They find you basically making it somewhere, they're going to just threaten the crap out of that. Can you imagine if there was a massive desertion of the system? Can you imagine the amount of high rollers would be pissed off about that? Just people saying, F you, F your gynocentrism world of what you're trying to basically push. Screw your greediness. Screw these effed up laws that you're basically trying to push that only benefits the wealthy and not the middle class men or the lower class families and stuff like that. Screw all of that. And the thing is, we cannot keep looking at the government for solutions. That's just not the case. But I want people to understand this whole situation. Nobody deserves to be attacked by these weapons. I don't care what anybody says. No one deserves this, because first off, you didn't ask to be born, right? That's number one. Number two, before you were even born, did you say you wanted your skies to be basically polluted with this bullshit up there? You did not. Did you say you wanted frequencies being beamed left and right, programming you into something that basically was, computerized, which another human being most likely put these coordinates for this programming to be there for any specific purposes, because, well, they're getting off scot-free because people don't want to look outside the box and question everything to see the reality of what's really going on. And then whenever someone does try to question it, they're just either labeled as crazy or, just either schizophrenic or just, mentally ill. And nobody thinks to even question that when that stuff starts to become a little bit too, overused. And I'm saying, I'm being very I'm trying to be sarcastic when I say, a little bit overused, because let's be honest here, that shit's been used way too much. They got over millions of people who are just calling mentally ill, just because they're talking about the same situation. Like, screw that. Let's discuss the situation. Let's discuss it. And I don't mean just bringing up these half-assed truths, the stuff that's been, basically set up out there to basically discredit us from the get-go. No, let's do the research, and you see that's what it is. They send these trolls. The government sends trolls to people who don't have, I'd say don't have, they know what they're talking about, but they don't have the stuff to show to really expose the situation for what it is. And it's either they don't have it or they've yet to find it. Fellow TIs, it's not that information is not there. It's not that, all of this stuff is not there for you to basically show. This is why I started showing other fellow TIs channels on mine, helping them get their word about what they're going through, sharing the situation so people will understand what we're really dealing with and how twisted the situation really is. What was the end result of me doing that? Oh, I got strikes left and right on the Mischievous M channel. Oh yeah. Strikes left and right, even so far as where I couldn't even do live streams no more. That's how bad it got. I reached out to larger platforms, letting them know the situation so they can actually warn other people as well, and it worked. So rest assured, there's a lot of people who are aware of this. There are a lot of people who are waking up to this, the fact that this is happening. But I'm telling you, target individuals out there, you are genuinely strong. You've gone through so much. All of us have gone through so much. Even despite the fact that these satanic assholes tried to program us, we still fight it. We're still hanging in there. It's not easy though, because this crap threatens every single second of our lives. Within every second, or even every millisecond of a day, of every hour, within a 24-hour period, we're constantly being hit with these frequencies. Constantly getting this programmable subliminal message through AI technology. Constantly getting assaulted. Anybody should know that there is no one on this planet who deserve. This is not something that anybody should be deserving of. Period. Because it's because of how unethical it is. How in the heck can anybody deserve to go through this when they are just as victims as anybody else is? No one asked to be programmed. This is what I was talking about when a lot of those massive shootings started happening. When people were complaining that, how they were hearing voices in their head and shit like that. That's a prime example of people who were programmed. The attacks were so relentless. They didn't know what was going on, and they absolutely didn't know anything until it was too late. Some even got themselves killed in the process of doing so. Some of them didn't even know what target individuals were. They didn't even heard of the term. Gavin Long is a target individual who was aware and who basically chose the vigilante route. But here's the deal. You got to really look at this from a spiritual perspective here. Look at how desperate the devil is to basically try to either get you over to the dark side or to try to corrupt you. Look at how much money and how much manpower is being put into this mess. Really look at it from that perspective on how big this grid is just to try to basically fuck with you. When you see that, no matter what happens, don't ever join these assholes. Don't ever give in. Because I'm telling you, once you make it and you get through this crap and you pass through those heavenly pearly gates, God's waiting for you. Waiting for all of us. The Most High is definitely waiting for all of us. And also just as well as watching over all of us. This world is definitely evil incarnate, without a doubt. But there's people with satanic agendas that make it evil. There's so much greed in this world, so much hate. So much. Situations have definitely gone way beyond normal in certain areas, but at the same time, how can we really say what's really normal and what's not normal, considering what's been going on? All this programming, all this crap that's been changed, and people who knew about it that decided to just not speak out about it, and people who did decide to speak out about it, but unfortunately got themselves into bad situations. And a prime example, I'm going to go ahead and keep mentioning this too. The prime example is with Obama. The people who kept mentioning something about his, the situation with his birth. How come everybody from SEAL Team 6 ended up dead? How come the woman who actually signed his damn birth certificate ended up just so happened dead through a plane accident on her way to the U.S.? That can't be a damn coincidence. It can't be. That was a damn hit. Each and every time. So, This is a person who is still within the ranks of our government, right? But you see, we shouldn't look to the government for solutions. We should find solutions within ourselves. You know, you'd be surprised of what you're capable of. People with small minds try to put you down, making you basically trying to convince you that, your thoughts aren't as powerful as they really are. And in reality, it's actually that's actually the quite the opposite. Your thoughts and all your ideals are much bigger than you know. Peer pressure has absolutely no effect on me because I've long since seen beyond the deception of it. They've tried it many times, but no. I refuse to ever engage in such childish-like behavior because that type of behavior is far beneath me. I've outgrown that type of behavior, and I'm no longer a boy anymore. I'm a man, and that is without a doubt a fact. I'd love to damn well say I believe just about all of it. Most, not all of us have truly grown up after all of this. It's unfortunate some people don't get that, don't get that little ray of hope at the end of that tunnel. And it's either like, it's not that it's not there. It's just that they don't hold out long enough to find it. As the end result, we've had people who were originally targeted individuals who actually joined up with this organization. I've yet to really see this happen, but I've heard other fellow TIs mention it. So we really got to be careful out there. Not to mention the people who are not TIs, who are basically just posing as TIs, and also people who are trying to help TIs, but they're trying to basically give off misleading information, or they're trying to direct the attention from something. Basically, I've seen this as an end result of a guy. I'm not gonna call no names, but there was a guy who created a channel. He was talking about going straight, to a legal perspective on the situation. I'm like, okay, but one problem: we can't trust the courts at all. You can't trust the damn government because they're the ones allowing this stuff to happen. They know this is going on, but they're not going to just come out and talk about it. We do got the situation with the UN, but unfortunately, there are people in the UN who are a part of it. They have this cold crap of the C virus being a complete hoax and bullshit that was long since planned out on their mainframe website. And I've showed a video of someone exposing that. I even showed it on one of my channels as well. We can't find solutions with the government. It has to come from the people. But unfortunately, we got so many people who are either programmed into, basically, controlled opposition, or we got people who are just being paid off. People who don't understand the full effects of the situation that's at hand. And this situation affects everybody. Both you, me, and the next generation. This fight, this spiritual warfare that we're in, the end result of all of this stands with us. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next couple of years because, there's no way to predict the future. The best thing to do in times like this is to always make sure you're right with God, though. But to also not allow yourself to be deceived either. This is why I made that one video way back when, telling people, please just do the research. If you have a certain religion, just do the research just for your own protection. If you have any, I'm not telling you to basically reject your religion. I'm just basically saying, just please, for your own sake, look into it. Go farther. If there's anything that was possibly left out or, diverted you from this, really do some good research on that. Because here's one problem that's out there. a lot of articles that have been put out there, and this is only related to history, but if they did this with history, they had to have done this with a whole lot of stuff too. A lot of articles that were put out there were actually this is related to history. Like, this is going towards the whole racial situation. When it came to like people saying that they were, people of brown. I say people of color are brown because I'm not saying black. I'm not black. I don't believe no one on this planet is black, but that's just me. And I believe there's actually a whole lot of other people who believe the same thing. You can't believe the history the system taught you. You got to be willing to actually do your own research and figure out what's going on. I mean, I would use Ancestry.com, but that's another damn byproduct of the system. Can you really trust that? So anyway, it turns out a lot of the articles related to the whole slave trades that were happening way back when turned out to be completely altered information. False information. A lot of it was just completely just bits and parts of information that were just thrown together, and they were just given the choice to either put the truth out there or put their own truths out there. When you start to really see the patternizations of the things that were put in place, certain regulations that were allowed and certain ones that were not, and unfortunately they didn't have enough regulations to basically really put a way for them to just have to put the story out there as it's supposed to be, not without favoritism involved. But unfortunately that wasn't the case. These bastards didn't want to put the real truth out there. They just wanted to put their false truths out there, what they wanted people to believe, what they wanted out there, with their basic perception of what they wanted history to be. This is quite worrisome because this has been, there are a whole lot of articles that were thrown out there with this problem. So, if this is related to history, right, this situation can involve just about many other things as far as any other articles out there as well. So you got to be very careful what information you're basically showing. This is one of the reasons why I no longer even do articles anymore on my channel, It's not that like it's not used for information, because at the same time, like, despite everything, you're gonna have to do, you gotta dig. You gotta dig through all of the misinformation they put out there to get to the real information, stuff that really will help you, stuff that really will work, stuff that really will become useful later on, and also present. Oh man, this situation seems to just be getting worse by the day. But at the same time, despite all this is happening, here's another thing that fellow TIs need to understand. And this is my I highly recommend everybody to really do this, because this will also, if you're feeling stressful, this will also help you ease the stress. You can't make every day of your life, every minute, every second, every hour about the targeting experience. You can't do that, because then that's all you're gonna think about, and that tends to be farther into the negative, because you're being hit with direct energy attacks, you're being stalked, and you're being harassed. But you see, the whole point of them doing it is to basically keep that same concept in your mind. Keep your attention focused out on that. You need to start doing stuff to basically lean your focus away from that, because that's going to be how you're going to help deprogram yourself from this BS that they're doing. That's why I made a new channel, but it's not one to basically promote any information. It's just one for me to basically relax. If I want to watch a couple of videos, I'll watch a couple of videos on it. And you got to be careful, because anything in the algorithm that you basically search will come up in your recommendations. So let's say, like, each time you're trying to watch something on YouTube, right? Well, boom, something about target individuals pops up, or something, back into the negative pops up, and you're still being tormented by it. So you see, you got to be very careful when it comes to your day-to-day activities, because that can in turn do subliminal harm onto yourself, and you may not even realize it. The constant thing of something constantly showing up is a form of self-sabotage of yourself. You gotta take breaks from this stuff. You gotta do whatever you possibly can. And I get it, it's not, that's easier said than done. I mean, they're effing with you 24/7, for freak's sake. But the moment you find an open window to basically make time for completely for yourself, to just refocus on yourself, basically recenter yourself, detox yourself, put on that armor of God, raise your spiritual vibration, do all of that stuff. Because I'm telling you, they use these attacks to try to prevent you from doing certain things that will benefit yourself. You ever feel yourself like you were planning on doing something, but you're too lazy to do it, or you just you're not really too lazy, but like you just don't have the strength to do it, is what I mean. It's like all strength is left. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. They do so much to try to break you down, man. So much. But these wicked people are going to get theirs someday soon. Remember, everything, the universe itself requires balance. You think there's not going to be a counteraction to put a stop to all this corruption, all this evil that's going on? It's coming. But we have to be patient for it. God is going to put a stop to all of this, but we have to be strong and we got to be patient. I think I'm in this video here. I hope the information and some of the advice I have, will help a lot of you all out. As far as the alkaline rife frequency, normally I would leave the link in the description, but unfortunately, I don't have the link right now. If you want to try to find it on your own, you should be able to see it quite easily. Just type in alkaline rife body. You should see like a brown window popping up somewhere in the, in the algorithm of videos that they show, like under the thumbnail, and it should have like dots around it or something. That's the frequency I was using. Again, I've only used it for like one day, so I can't really guarantee its effects yet. Okay? Normally when it comes to testing this kind of stuff out, like you need to really put some time into it in order to really adjust and to basically figure out what's different, what's changed. Has anything gotten better? Has anything gotten worse? Just basic stuff. That's usually how I do, just process of elimination. Even if something gets worse, I still use it to see its other effects, just to see, because it could just be them boosting the effects of it, because if whatever I'm doing is actually having a positive effect. So in contrast, they're boosting their attacks to counteract the stuff that's that's basically helping me. Also, they will try to use manipulative methods to try to convince you that something that actually is helping you is actually harming you. So also be mindful of that as well. And unfortunately, that's that I know that makes it a lot difficult for a lot of people to find good solutions that help. I'm doing as the best I damn well can when it comes to it, and I still intend to to continue to help out fellow TIs. As far as things else is concerned, just be very careful out there. Things are definitely not safe, but it's fair to say things have never really been safe. This world we lived in has been doing nothing but casting an illusion around us, making us believe that things were a certain type of way, but in reality, things were not as we originally thought. And it's the unknown you have to be wary of. So always be, vigilant and always be safe. I need to get I need to get myself a shirt that says the whole C virus is a damn hoax. I'm gonna try to put that into work sometime soon. I've already walked around Baton Rouge with a sign that said the whole C virus was a hoax, and I even basically recommended certain channels for people to basically check out for the real truth of what the government's not telling them. I can only hope that my efforts did make, at least open the minds of some people. But you see, it only takes just a couple of people to see that for them to pass that information along. This is why I've been telling other TIs, why don't you just do that? Because then that'll help awaken the people around you, and now they know what's going on, and they can, maybe come up with a plan to counteract with that whatever the hell these assholes are doing. And you see, this is what they count on. These agents, they count on being anonymous. They count on people not knowing who they are. They count on just hiring people throughout the streets to do their dirty work so that they don't have to expose themselves. But you see, when you get out of the city and you go to places to where all these people are not around, they can't do that. And even if they do try to find some people to basically, do that, like people are going to use common sense. They paying somebody to go out in the middle of nowhere, out on someone's land. Depending on the area, I don't think no one's that damn stupid. Like they would know better than to do something that damn dumb. But nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised because there's a lot of stupid people out there. They even especially for desperate for money. Dude, they even got people. They got people pretending to be homeless. And that's only just the tip. That's only just the tip of the iceberg. There's been way other scenarios of people being way too desperate for money. And people just don't realize, man, you don't have to live like that. You don't have to be like that. Why are you letting the system? This is my question to people who are, homeless like that. Why the fuck are you letting? And I'm not talking about TS. I'm just talking about homeless people in general. The ones who are out there in the streets, just laying around in the streets every day, begging for money. Why are you letting the system do this to you? Why? Why not say, F this system that screwed me over. Leave the damn cities. Get the hell out of there. Go live off the land. You can build your tools. You can build a home. You can actually start to just live off the land and catch your food instead of basically begging for money, which is the root of all evil, by the way, to spend that root of all evil money on food that is not good for you, that's been poisoned, that's been basically injected with all this crap that is structured to program you. These assholes have been basically experimenting on homeless folks, right? There's people that were talking about this, how the government's been using them as guinea pigs just as well as TIs. There's so much corruption out here, man. There is a whole lot. I'm ending this video here. Stay safe, everybody. Stay strong.